We'll go Jackie, then Jeff.
Hey, Sandy, congrats on the win. I think it's your first road win as a Liberty head coach. I'm curious as to what has been the main difference in these two games. What light switch do you think has come on here?
Look, I think it's about, I've said it from the beginning, it's just developing chemistry, learning to play with each other a little bit better. Executing, our discipline's is so much better. And we had terrible discipline earlier in the season with turnovers, not executing the scout. And even though sometimes tonight, we'll right near the end, Samuel was supposed to switch and she didn't, but we stayed the course. So I think a little bit of discipline, a lot of chemistry, and then just having a little bit more grit, be quite honest, and fighting. I thought we executed the scout and, I felt good these last few days, but to be quite honest, I just feel like they're getting it and it takes time. And I think Crystal Dangerfield helps because we can get Sab a little bit off the ball. And I think that helps us.
Yeah, I mean, when she can go 5 for 10 from 3, definitely. I'm also curious about the decision you made in the second half when you brought Michaela out and you put her on Atkins. And then I think she took a charge. It was hard to see on the broadcast. And then she goes the other way and she battles on the glass. And then she finds a wide open Sammy and makes the 3. What was the decision to sort of put her in there like that?
Well, I put her in there because Deladon went out and I wanted to give Tash a rest.
Right.
So it was basically all lineups. And she gave us good energy in that second half. Maybe not so much in the first half, but gave us good energy. And that's her role, to go out there and play good energy and, got us offensive board, got us an open look here and played her role well.
And the final one for me, I'm curious, we've talked a lot about just what happens when the shots aren't falling. And I feel like in this game, shots weren't falling in the first half, but you all found a way to score. What sort of has changed when it comes to like not being so down when those shots don't fall?
Yeah, well, we've been trying to tell them that, it's you just got to preach it. You can play defense. The shot's not falling. How can you help the team? And just stay in the course here. And everyone, just we have to get our own heads. And that was an Achilles heel for quite a long time. They want to win, but then it's about the chemistry, staying together, stay in the course, and our defense kept us in the game. And we got some wide open looks. They got some wide open looks. We've missed a lot of wide open looks, and we've got some great shooters. So it was good to see Semi get some, obviously some baskets for us. They were big for us, but like in the end, it was a defensive battle, and we found a way to win. So really proud of how we executed and our poise, against a very good team.
Thank you so much, Sandy, and congratulations.
Thanks,
Jeff.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, your first streak as a New York Liberty head coach. My first question, I wanted to talk about the defensive performance you kind of touched upon before, because Washington is a team that averages over 80 points a game, and you guys hold them to 70 tonight. And this team, for lack of a better term, has not won many, say, games that were 30-28 at the end of the first half. So what do you think was the defensive difference tonight? And what can you say about and to that end, what can you say about the final possessions defense?
Yeah, look, really, like I said, I always said when I came in, I am defense first, but they're coming in and executing it, but they're trusting each other. And sometimes on defense, that's what you have to do. Sure. It's knowing your personnel. What we know, we had some breakdowns, but we're competing and it's hard work. It's 10% skill and that's it. And it's 90% are you going to really want to do it and compete. And I thought we did a really good job of that. And that's what it came down to. They made that run in that fourth quarter is more just pick and roll and bullying downhill and getting to the foul line, to be quite honest. But for the most part, we were quite good. And just buy into the system and do it to the best of your ability but being able to make changes when we needed to. And it was a good team effort.
Absolutely. And I was also hoping you could speak about the interior performance tonight again, because Steph Dolson has another solid game, particularly in the rebounding effort. She comes up huge in the final possession at the end there. So how huge were Tosh and Steph, especially when when they were holding Ionescu in check during the fourth quarter?
Well, they're experienced post players, and that's, really what we expect of them. And I don't think, it was Steph was still trying to find a way in a new team, to be quite honest. There's a little chaos in the beginning, but slowing down a little bit, having better execution. But they're smart players. They know how to execute a scout, and they did it really well. We even had Steph switching a lot, and she did quite a good job. It shows just, her basketball IQ and her ability to do that, even though she knows she's not the fastest person out there. And then I thought we executed down the stretch well. Obviously, Beck Allen making that 3 to tie it was, obviously a great shot for us. And we just put the ball in Sabrina's hands and we made free throws. And, we prevented them from getting they got a good look near the end, be quite honest, but we got lucky and they missed that shot.
Your non-negotiables leading the way. Appreciate your time and insight, Coach. Safe travels home.
Thanks, Jeff. Great.
Michelle?
Yeah, Coach, overall 2 strong performances scoring wise for Sabrina back to back. And I believe she got to the line combined 15 times in these 2 games. How important is it, obviously, with as good a free throw shooter as she is, for her to get to the line? And is there anything in particular that she's done or you've done the last 2 games to get her that more often?
Yeah, look, Michelle, I think the biggest thing, and we don't talk about it a lot, but she wasn't 100% healthy. So she wasn't able to be explosive, and she's back 100% healthy. And that's good when she can get downhill and make contact and get to the foul line. So I think it's just, we had to play her when she had a few niggles, didn't she, Jackie? So we had to just make sure, getting her back healthy, and she is, and she's got that little bit of explosiveness that allows her to get back in and not just, settling for those threes. So she's a hard guard when she get into the paint, but also, she made some big threes as well.
How just the overall, I guess, mindset of this team, because it is tough when you go through, some of the difficulties, especially early in the season. It just seemed like they were really, the other night, just really buoyant after that win. Is the team starting to feel a little bit more like a little bit of the pressure's off of them because they're playing better?
Yeah, look, I think everyone was a little frustrated. We had a really disruptive training camp. We had players, most of them are out injured, half of them still out injured. But, we had to grind away, but we were our own worst enemy. So we kept watching film. I didn't get too high or too low. I've been in situations when you lose, and I knew we had the ability, and we needed a point guard. I think you saw that kind of helped the overall balance of our team and finding a little bit more chemistry. But yeah, no one likes to lose so many games in a row. But, I did see progress, sometimes, but, if we could take care of the ball, rebound and not foul, those simple things, have a little bit more discipline, then we could have won some other games, to be quite honest. We missed a lot of open shots as well. So the biggest thing was making sure that, go hard on them, but make sure you have to still stay positive, and we have to grind our way out because we have to keep believing. And I think that's what we did, and credit to the team. They stuck together, and, I knew that we'd find a way out, but, every game is hard. We know that, but this is it's a confidence booster, to be quite honest. But we got to keep building on it. And we're treating June as our new season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Miles?
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win. For the second straight game, the team committed just 12 turnovers, which ties the season low. From the point guard position, Crystal Dangerfield had 4 assists to 0 turnovers. Just how has her play at the 1 position not just settled the team, but also opened up the floor for Sabrina a bit?
Yeah, look, it's been big. I think I noted that in the beginning. Sabrina, she's a point guard, she's a shooting guard, but when you have so much pressure, it's actually nice to get her off the ball a little bit. Although tonight in dead balls, we put the ball back in her hands. But at least she doesn't have to bring it up against pressure, because that's fatiguing, and that wasn't helping us early in the year. Sammy's the same thing, more of a 2-man than a 1-man natural position. So Crystal takes a lot of pressure off him and can get us into our offense. She's a really good defender. Obviously I took her out late because of going downhill, and had Sammy back in there, but it gives us, just takes the pressure off those 2 players in particular, and allows us to get a little bit more flow, but also creates a little toughness on defense as well, because she doesn't get screened very often. She gets through screens, and she competes, always 110%.
Thank you. And in the first 3 quarters, Tosh struggled on offense. She had scored just 6 points on 3 of 14 shooting. But in the fourth quarter, she scored 11 points, making 4 of 6 shots, including that go-ahead and 1. So how essential is Tosh's next play veteran mentality during the stretch of close games where you've talked about this is still a younger team.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, like Tasha's been in those situations before. I thought the shots that she took was, for the most part, she was taking them in good rhythm and being aggressive, and they didn't go down, but it's just, staying ready. We need our best players to play well to win. And Tash, but she had the job of guarding Deladon. I thought she did quite a good job for the most part of the game and at both ends of the floor. And that's, it's a big player making big shots. So happy for her. She's showing some leadership and poise out there, because in those kind of situations, when you're losing, you just need to stay together, and she has been a really good glue and leader.
Thanks so much, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Miles.
Great. All right, we'll start with Jackie Powell.
Good evening. Congratulations on the win. I'll start with Sabrina and then I'll move to Natasha. So Sabrina, how do you describe the light switch that has gone on in these past two games?
I don't think it's really a light switch. I think it's more us just continuing to get better every single day. And it's been gradual, and we've all trusted the process. We've all stayed, really focused on what's in our control, not necessarily focusing on the outcome of the game, but more the process. And it's starting to pay off, but obviously there's so much more that we need to get better and continue to improve on. And so we're not losing sight of that in the fact that we're winning games now.
For sure. And if you could break down that final possession defensively, what was the plan and how did you execute that?
The plan was really to get a stop. We forced not one of their main scorers to try and take a shot. And, we knew we had to rebound, and, we were staying focused, locked in, not allowing a 3-point shot. And so great overall team defense for us in those final 3 seconds.
Thank you, Natasha. Oh, okay. I got a message. I will move on.
Thank you.
Miles.
Oh,
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. I wanted to ask first, Sabrina, how does playing alongside Crystal, who had 4 assists to 0 turnovers tonight, just help make your life easier, especially with some of that full court pressure that you dealt with earlier this season?
yeah, it helps a lot. She's coming kind of into her own shell, finding her niche on this team, and we need her. We need her night in and night out. She's continuing to prove herself for, a point guard in this league, but also for our team. And it's taking a lot of pressure off of my shoulders, bringing the ball up, but also she's just, getting into passing lanes, kicking, getting us into our actions offensively. And so we're going to continue to grow with her, continue to build chemistry, and really excited to see what she's going to continue to do for our team.
Thanks, Ab. And Tosh, I wanted to ask you about Sammy Whitcomb, who has dealt with some struggles early in the season, but she hit 3 threes tonight, all at seemingly big moments. Just knowing the struggles that she has dealt with in the early going, how big was it to see some of those shots fall tonight? Like I said, especially in such a close game.
It feels good, Sammy getting the good shots that we needed her to knock them down. And we had confidence in her to knock those shots down, even though she's starting off struggling a little bit, but at the end of the day, we have confidence in her. She have confidence in herself that she's gonna knock those three shots down, and we needed those big time, and she helped us out.
Thanks so much. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Karina Mustafa. Please unmute. Karina Mustafa.
Is it working now?
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Sorry, my mic was not working. So I'm curious, after your last win against the Fever, you guys kind of came together in a huddle. I'm curious as to what the message was after getting your second win of the season after the losing streak.
God, I gotta remember that game. Obviously, I think just building off of that, getting that win was a breath of fresh air. We really wanted it. We really wanted it at home, and just continuing to build off of it. It's a long season. We didn't start off the season how we wanted to, but the beauty of this league is that there's a game pretty much every other day. And so focusing on the fact that we won, but also we're on to the next. And this was our next most important game. And so, everyone was really bought in and looking forward to this one. And, now we're looking forward to the next one coming up in another day.
Thank you. Congrats on the win.
We're going to go back to Jackie. She has questions for Natasha.
Yeah, sorry about that. Natasha, take me through how you kept staying the course, even when your shots weren't falling initially.
Just focusing on defense, just making sure I did my assignment on the defensive end. And I wasn't really concerned about the offense. Like, I knew that my offense was gonna come sooner or later, and it did towards the end. But even though I had not a good start, but it ain't how I started, it's how I finished. And I picked it up for my team, and we came up with the win. So.
Absolutely. And just one more, you all scored a bunch of points off Mystics turnovers. I know that's sort of been a goal for this group to really get the offense from the defense. How do you think you guys are sort of progressing when it comes to refining that part of the team's identity?
Just everybody, you staying focused, knowing the assignment of their opponent, and doing it. And that's what we've been doing in the past 2 games against Indiana and also against the Mystics too. That's how we got those stops. We scored 16 points off their 15 turnovers. So we knew what we needed to do on the defensive end, and we all collectively bought in.
Thank you. Congrats.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Thank you. Sabrina, Tosh, congratulations on the win tonight. My first question is for Sabrina. Coach Brondello has spoken ad nauseum about building chemistry no matter the result out there, and she's been pleased with what she sees. Now that it's starting to lead to, better results in the scoreboard, what are some of the obvious signs of chemistry you've seen as, in a point guard or shooting guard role, and how rewarding is it to see those results pay off?
It's definitely coming from our us cutting down turnovers. I think it's hard when you have a group that didn't go through training camp together, didn't get a lot of games under our belt together, nonetheless practice, and games come quick, and every single team in this league is really tough, and every single night you're going to get a tough matchup, and there's no easy wins. So I think the category that really stands out is just us being able to secure the ball on offense, get our best team shots, understanding where we can put players in a position to use them to their strengths. And we're starting to all figure that out on a team level, and that's kind of where teams start to get wins in this league, is when they know who they want to attack, where they want to attack, and at what time in the game. And so obviously we're just kind of at the low block of that. There's still a lot of room for improvement, but it's really starting to show with just our chemistry and how well we're playing off of one another.
To that end, where do you want to improve the most over the next couple of games?
I think just continuing to improve on the defensive end will be a huge one for us. Team defense, but also individual defense. And I think offensively, just continuing to, make the reads, put them in actions, being able to adjust in game with, some of the junk defenses that they're throwing out. They started the game switching, and they ended the game with going over and more of a drop coverage. So being able to just read and know what actions we need to get to when they're junking up the defense.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And Tasha, I have one for you as well. What did you think about in a self-assessment, what did you think of your performance guarding Elena tonight, and what was it like to run into her again?
I did good. I did a really good job, and also my teammates, like us switching, like Steph did a good job on her, Beck did, like everybody that had to guard her did a good job overall as a team. And we're gonna keep building, like Sab said, keep building on the defensive end, and it's gonna take us a long way.
Appreciate your time and insight, both of you. Safe travels home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christos Saltis.
Hello, ladies. Congratulations on the win, first of all. First question is for Natasha. In that 7-game losing streak, what was the biggest lesson for you as a team, and what makes you stronger as a team?
Just learn from our mistakes, and just keep building, and keep building that chemistry, and sooner or later we're gonna get over the hump, and we did by winning that game that we needed to win against Indiana, and also this win right here. And he's gonna keep carrying over and over to the next game on Sunday. We play against Minnesota. So we just gonna keep building and just keep working hard.
Thank you very much. And for you, Sab, what did you like most in the last 2-game stretch for you, both for you personally and the whole team? What did you like most about the way that you play, the way that you make plays for your teammates, for yourself? What did you like most?
I really like your questions. I think you have really, really good questions. I just wanted to tell you that. But I think I think definitely on the defensive end, us just being able to really rely on our defense and getting stops. But also offensively, I think we're just sharing the ball really well. Whether we're getting it inside or we're getting it outside, I think we're really able to exploit the defense and figure out who we want the ball to, who's shooting it really well, how we can get them in actions. And I think we're really starting to do that, better and better each and every game. And it's starting to show. We're starting to win games. We're starting to get more comfortable playing with one another, trusting one another, and sky's the limit for this team. So I'm excited to see, the next step we take against Minnesota.
Keep up, girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina and Natasha. Thank you all for joining us. We'll send post-game
Thank
notes.
you, guys.
Thank you.